Hi guys, so how are you doing? Okay, how is it going so far? Hope everyone is good and fine. Okay, so today we are going to see the topic of pronoun. We are going to see pronoun. Okay, so what do you mean by pronoun? So far, what do you know? Tell me your guesses. Like, what do you know about pronoun? So far, what have you heard about pronoun? You have any idea? Okay. So pronouns are the words. See, for example, when I'm about to write a passage, say, at the start I would write like Raja Ram Mohan Rai was a great freedom fighter. Raja Ram Mohan Rai fought for our country. Raja Ram Mohan Rai was one of the best. Okay. So in every sentence, would I always write Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Rajan Ram Mohan Rai? Will I keep repeating the same noun? Okay, first of all, we know what noun is. Noun is a name of a person, name, animal, thing or feeling, right? Okay, so Rajaram Mohan Roy is a person. So Rajaram Mohan Roy is a name of a person, right? Okay, so I will not repeat the same name over and over again. Okay, so I will not do that. What will we do? Well, we will replace that name by some other word. Okay, that word is what we call pronoun. Okay, we will replace Rajaram Mohan Rai by he. Correct? We will replace Rajaram Mohan Rai by he. Okay, so he, she, it, they are called pronouns. Okay, so what is the basic concept of pronouns is they are used instead of a noun. Pronouns are the words that are used instead of a noun. Pronouns are the words that are used instead of a noun to avoid repetition. Okay, to avoid repeating the same noun over and over again, we just use a different word, and that is what we call pronoun. Okay, so pronoun has two, it can be divided into two. Okay, so majorly we can divide it into two. We can say it in genders and also numbers. Okay, it can be subdivided into two as in genders and numbers. Okay, so we know the genders. What are the genders are there? We have masculine, right? Okay, masculine. We have masculine gender and feminine gender. We have masculine and feminine. Okay, a few more are there. I'll tell you: masculine, feminine, common, and neuter. Okay, so we have masculine, feminine, common, and neuter. Okay, these two are two new genders. We'll see. Okay, and according to numbers, there are two, which is it could be singular or plural. The pronouns could be singular or plural. Okay, see, let's see these genders. Okay, first of all, masculine. Masculine denotes males, right? Masculine means males. Okay, which pronoun do we use for masculine? We use he. Okay, and feminine denotes female, and the pronoun we use here is she. Okay, and for common we have different. That is, common means it could be a male, it could be a female. Okay, you don't know the gender of a noun. So which pronoun will you use when you don't know the gender of a noun? Which pronoun will you use if you don't know the gender of a noun? For example, when I say I saw my friend on the way. Okay, so in this sentence, if something is following up, like for example, I'll write it down. I saw my friend on the way. Okay, full stop, blank, was driving a car, dash, was driving a car. Okay, so here which pronoun will you use? Will you use he or will you use she? See, I just told you that I saw my friend. Okay, I told you that I saw my friend. But did I mention you like, is my friend a male or a female? Okay, I did not tell you anything. Okay, so according to you, if the gender is unknown, if the gender of the subject is unknown, you must always give preference to male. Okay, if the gender is unknown, always give preference to male. Okay, just like our family, we always give preference. First preference goes to our dad, right? We always give preference to dad. In the same way, in English, if you do not know the gender, always give the first preference over to your male. Okay, so when there is a common gender, that is, it could be a male, it could be a female, but if you don't know the gender, always use he. Okay, done. Okay, and neuter for non-living things. Okay, which pronoun do we use for non-living things? Which pronoun do we use for non-living things? For non-living things, we use it. Very good. It. Okay. But for some living things, we use it, right? For some living things, we use it as a pronoun. Okay. So what are those living things? What are those living things that we use it as a pronoun? Think about it. Tell me. So when it comes to, this one is exceptional for, okay, exception case for when we are talking about animal or baby or kid, okay, or kid or child, okay. So when you are about to talk about these four things, you use preposition, sorry, you use the pronoun it, okay, you use the pronoun it for these words also. Done? Okay. So next we will see where do we use pronouns. Okay. So we have three forms of pronouns. That is subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, and possessive pronoun. Subjective, objective, possessive. Possessive means denote ownership. Possessive means it denotes ownership. Okay, ownership. Okay. So I'll write down all the pronouns we have, like I, we, you, he, she, it, they. Okay. These are the pronouns we have. Okay. So this is the subjective form of pronoun. When you are using a pronoun in its subjective place as a subject, when you are using a pronoun as a subject, this must be its form. Okay. Do not change this form. Okay. This is the form of subjective pronoun. Okay. How about objective? When I is changed to object, how will you change? I to object. For example, when I tell you a sentence like, I was attacked by him. When I tell you, I was attacked by him. Okay, I was attacked by him. Okay, so here, I is the subject. Now, I am changing the sentence. That is, he attacked. Okay, he attacked. What will come? What will follow? He attacked me, right? Okay, so I was in the subjective place, and now it's moved to objective place. When it is moving to the objective place, what is its form? It changes from I to me, right? Okay, so me is the objective form of I. Okay, then what is the objective form of we? Us, you, he, him, she, her, it, they, them. Okay, so these are the objective forms. Now comes the possessive. In possessive, we have two forms. One is called possessive adjective, one is called possessive pronoun. Okay, so we have two forms. That is, I can say like, this is dash pen, this is my pen, or I can say this pen is mine. Okay, this pen is mine also can say. Okay, so possessive we have two forms, that is my, mine. For we have our, ours. For you have your, yours. Okay. For he, you have his. Okay. There's two forms. Both the forms are same here. Okay. For her, hers. And for its, we have its, and there is no form for here. And for them, it is their or theirs. Okay. So since we have two forms in possessive, there must be definitely a difference between these two. Okay, there must be definitely a difference between these two. Okay, so what is the difference is, these pronouns should not be followed by a object. These must not be followed by a object. Okay, because see, if I say this pen is mine, okay, this class is ours, done. There's nothing to be followed. Okay, but if you are about to use these pronouns, what will happen? This is my what? Something must come after it, na? Something must be followed. So this is my pen. This is our class. Okay, so after these pronouns, objects must be followed. After these pronouns, objects are not followed. That is the main difference. Okay, so we are done with where do we use pronouns. Okay, what are the forms of pronouns? Now we will see what are the types of pronouns. Okay, next one is types of pronouns. So first one is demonstrative pronoun. Demonstrative pronoun. Okay, demonstrative pronouns are used for nouns to refer a pronoun. Okay, demonstrative pronouns are used for a noun to refer a pronoun. Okay, they are used to refer a pronoun. Okay, so some of the demonstrative pronouns are, I'll write it down, like this, that, these, those. Okay, these are the demonstrative pronoun. Okay, then we have, then we have personal pronoun. We have personal pronoun. Personal pronoun means it is used to denote a person. It is used to denote a person. We have no I, we, he, she, it, they. These are called personal pronouns. Okay, it is used to denote a person. I, we, you. Okay, so these are the personal pronoun, and we have reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun. So what are the forms of reflexive pronoun? We have like myself, yourself, himself, herself. Okay, so these are used for reflexive pronoun. Okay, these are usually used for the pronouns for emphasis. Okay, for emphasis, they are used to emphasize something. Okay, they are used with the pronoun for emphasizing. Okay, so next one we have indefinitive pronoun. Indefinitive pronoun. So these are the pronouns used for a noun, okay, in vague or general manner. In vague or general manner. Okay, these are the nouns that is used for a pronoun in vague or general manner. For example, when I say many, some, several, all, okay, each. Okay, so when I am talking about something in vague or in general manner, I use indefinitive pronoun. Okay, then we have distributive pronoun. These are the nouns, these are the pronouns that is used for a noun to define one at a time. To define one at a time. Okay, to define one at a time. For example, like each, every, either, neither, okay, no one, okay, none. Okay, so distributive pronoun are the nouns that is used to distributive pronouns are used for a noun to refer one at a time. Okay, to refer one at a time. Okay, then we have reciprocal pronoun. Reciprocal pronoun. Okay, so these pronouns are used to define the mutual relationship. These pronouns are used to define the mutual relationship. We have only two reciprocal pronoun, that is each other, one another. Okay, each other and one another. If we are, okay, what is the difference? Okay, when do we use each other and when do we use one another is when there is only two entities. Okay, when there is only two entities, we use each other. When there is more than two entities, we use one another. That is a major difference. Okay, when we use, when there is only one entity, we use each other. When there is more than, when there is two entities, we use each other. When there is more than two entities, we use one another. Okay, then we have reflexive relative pronoun. Okay, relative or interrogative pronoun. Okay, so these are the relative pronoun or interrogative pronoun or the WH question words. WH question words are what we call interrogative pronoun. Okay, interrogate means to question, right? Okay, so interrogative pronoun is nothing but WH question words. Okay, that will also come under relative pronoun. Okay, that will also come under relative pronoun. Okay. Then these are the types of pronoun that you must have known by now. Okay. Okay. Now I'll tell you when there is, okay, first of all, do you know about first person, second person and third person? Okay, first person, second person and third person. Okay, so what are the nouns that comes under, so what are the pronouns that comes under first person? First person, second person, third person. What are the pronouns? First person we have I, we. Second person we have you. Third person we have he, she, it, they. Okay, he, she, it, they. Okay, now I'll tell you. See, I is singular, we is plural. You is used as singular as well as plural. Okay, here he is singular, she is singular, it is singular, they is plural. Okay, these are the difference. These are the difference between themselves. Okay, so now see. We have you, right? You is used for singular as well as plural. So we will like doubt in some of the sentences we'll get confused. But like this sentence has you. So should it be considered a singular or a plural? Okay. So in some sentences, what happens is you need not be confused. That is, I'll tell you. When you is used with singular, you is also considered singular. When you is used with plural, you is considered as plural. Okay, remember when to decide whether you is singular or plural, see with which it is used. Okay, is it used with a singular? It is used with a plural. If it is used with singular, it is also singular. If it is used with plural, it same goes. Okay, done. So I'll tell you a rule. Write it down. I'll write it down. If there is two or more pronoun, and all of them, are in singular form, I'll tell you again. If there is two or more pronoun and all of them are in singular form. Okay. If there is two or more pronoun and all of them are in singular form, comma, always follow second, third and first order. Second, third and first. Okay. Second person, third person and first person order. Okay, always follow second person, third person and first person order. Okay, this is the order. Okay, so if they have given two or more pronouns, and all of them are in singular form, what you have to do is you have to first write the second person, then the third person and finally you have to write the first person. Okay, this is the order for singular. Okay, in the next line write it down. Okay, if all of them are singular, if all of them are in singular form, if all of them are in singular form, comma, always follow first person, second person and third person order. First person, second person and third person order. Okay, so we know that if they are in singular, you use 2 3 1 order. If they are in plural, you use 1 2 3 order. Okay, this is one of the important rule in pronoun. Okay. Okay, point number 2. Okay, when the subject of the action, okay, when the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action. Okay, when the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action, we use reflexive pronoun with the subject. Okay, we use reflexive pronoun with the subject. Remember, when the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action. Okay, if I give you an example, you will clearly understand what the sentence means. Just listen to it properly. When the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action, okay, we always use reflexive pronoun with the subject. Okay, see, especially if those words are in the following are one of the following. Okay, I'll tell you the verbs. If I'll write down some verbs. Okay, I'll write down some verbs. If the verb of that subject, if any one of the verb of the subject is the receiver of the action. Okay, if any one of the following verb is the receiver of the action, what happens is it must be followed by a reflexive pronoun. Okay, the subject must be followed by a reflexive pronoun. I'll tell you: acquit, avail, enjoy, revenge, avenge. What else? There are many more. Okay. In any of the sentences, in a sentence, if any of these verb is used as a main verb, okay, in a sentence, if any of these verbs is used as the main verb and the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action, and the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action, then the subject must be followed by a reflexive pronoun. Okay, the subject must be followed by a reflexive pronoun. For example, when I tell you, see example, they enjoyed during summer. They enjoyed during summer. Okay, so they enjoyed during summer. In this sentence, enjoyed is one of the verb here. See, enjoyed. Okay, enjoyed is used here. Now the subject is the receiver of the action, right? The subject is the receiver of the action. Okay, the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action. Okay, the same is, so they enjoyed during summer. So here we will use a reflexive pronoun. They enjoyed themselves. They enjoyed themselves. Okay, see, I'll tell you another sentence. They enjoyed the picture last night. They enjoyed the picture last night. Okay, last night. Okay. See, in this sentence, picture is the receiver of the action. Okay, picture is the receiver of the action and not the subject. Okay, they enjoyed the picture last night. So here, picture is the receiver of the action. So that's why we do not use reflective pronoun here. If they enjoyed themselves, the picture will be wrong. Okay, so we will not use themselves here. Understood? Okay, so there is an exceptional case for it. There is an exceptional case. Even though some of the verbs could be could be the receiver of the action. Those words should not be followed by a reflexive pronoun. See, I told you these words must be followed by a reflexive pronoun, and there are some verbs which will not be followed by a reflexive pronoun. Okay, I'll tell you examples. Exception of these case would be see, these words should not be followed by a reflexive pronoun. I'll tell you, for example, see in an example, he hid himself in the room. He hid himself in the room. Okay. Now, the concept is same. See, the concept is same. Here, the verb of the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action. Here, he is the receiver of the action. Now, he is the receiver of the, subject verb. Hid is the receiver of the action. Okay. He is again the receiver of the action. So, he hid himself would be right if you see only this concept. Okay. But remember, only with these verbs, reflexive pronoun can be used. Okay. So, with these verbs, reflexive pronouns should not be used. Okay. So, here, he hid himself in the room would be inappropriate. What you have to say is, he hid in the room. He hid in the room. That would be the most appropriate one. Done? Okay. One more thing about reflexive pronoun. One more thing about reflexive pronoun is that reflexive pronoun cannot be used as a subject or an object. Okay, reflexive pronoun cannot be used as a subject or an object. It must be preceded by a noun or a pronoun. Okay, reflexive pronoun alone cannot be used as a subject or an object. It must be preceded by a noun or a pronoun. Okay, it is a necessity. For example, yourself and he have completed the project. Here, the sentence is obviously wrong. Okay, this is obviously wrong because just a few seconds later I told you reflexive pronouns cannot be used as a subject or an object. Okay, so here yourself is a subject here. So this is the most inappropriate one. What you have to do is you have to use you. Okay, you and he have completed the project. You and he have completed the project. That would be the appropriate one. Okay, now you see, I myself have completed. I myself have completed it. When I say I myself have completed it, okay, here the sentence could seem like could seem like it has some error, okay, but the sentence is no error. The sentence is right. It is no error, okay. So I myself have completed it could be the most appropriate one, okay. This is the right answer. So we'll see another rule that is verb to be, okay. Verb to be. Okay. To be should always be followed by a subjective case. Verb to be should always be followed by a subjective case and not objective case. For example, I'll tell you. See, in this sentence, it is me who have brought you home, okay. It is me, okay. I told you 2 plus be form, it plus, okay. When 2 plus be form is followed, okay. When 2 plus B form to be, it is 2 plus B form is followed. What you have to do is here, okay, here it must not be a objective case, it must be the objective case. It is I who have brought you home. It is I who have brought you home and not it is me. Okay. So to be, when we have B form of a verb, when we have a B form of a verb, it must be followed by a subjective case and not the objective case. Okay. Done. Now tell me the difference between who and whom. Tell me the difference between who and whom. So who and whom, what is the difference? So which one is the subject and which one is the object? Which one is the subject and which one is the object? Okay. So are you guys sure who is the subject and whom is the object? Is it so? Are you sure? See, I'll give you one sentence and then decide. I'll give you a sentence that is whom are you talking to? Whom are you talking to? Okay. So in this sentence, which one is the subject and which one is the object? In this sentence, okay, after reading this sentence, now tell me which one is the subject and which one is the object. Okay. There is some confusion, right? Okay. The confusion arises now. I know. I'll tell you. Don't ever confuse between who and whom. Okay. Who is always the subject and whom is always the object. Who is always the subject and whom is always the object. I'll tell you why. Okay. For example, first of all, who is the subject? Who is the subject? Now, I'm not telling the answer. I'm just asking you, who is the subject? The subject is a person who does the action, right? Who does the verb, okay? The subject is the person who does the verb, okay? So here, what is the main verb? What is the main verb in this sentence? According to this sentence, what is the verb? Talking is the verb, okay? Now, who is doing the talking? Who is doing the talking? Talking is being done by you, okay? So here, you is the subject and whom is the object, okay? Remember one thing, guys, just because whom comes at the start of a sentence, it does not make it a subject, okay? Just because whom comes at the start of a sentence, it does not make it a subject. It is always object. Done? Okay. I'll ask you one more question. Okay. I, who is your uncle, should be respected. I, who is your uncle, should be respected. What's the error here? What's the error here? I, who is your uncle, should be respected. Okay. Don't confuse with too many things. Don't confuse with too many things. I'll tell you. See, I is, this one is means it is in present tense. Okay. So I could never be used with is. Okay. I should never be used with is. I is always used with am. Okay. Doesn't matter what is in between them. Doesn't matter what comes in between them. Who, what, which, or doesn't matter. Okay, so I will always be followed by am and not is. So I, who am your uncle, should be respected. I, who am your uncle, should be respected. That is the correct form. Okay, now one more question. Okay. How dare you come between he and I? How dare you come between he and I? Okay, what's the error here? How dare you come between he and I? Okay. First of all, in this sentence, who is the subject? Who is the subject in this sentence? You is the subject. And what about he and I? If something else is a subject, but then these must be the object. Okay, so these two are the object. Okay, so I told you, I gave you a tabular column of subjective form, objective form and possessive form. I gave you. Now we are having object here, but is the form correct? Is its form correct? No, the form of the object is wrong. Okay, so how will it change this one? Between him and me. Okay, how dare you come between him and me? Okay, not he and I, him and me. Okay, one more question. Who is your brother among them? Who is your brother among them? Okay, what is the difference here? Who is your brother among them? What is the difference? What is the difference between who is your brother and who is your brother? Sorry, who is your brother and who is your brother among them? Okay, first of all, tell me the error in this sentence, and if you cannot find out the error, if you find it difficult to find the error, try to make a difference between who's your brother and who's your brother among them. If you could find the difference here, you could find the answer. Who's your brother and who's your brother among them? What's the difference? 5 minutes. Who's your brother and who's your brother among them? Okay. Normally when you ask like who's your brother, the possibility according to me, okay, when I ask you who's your brother, according to me, the possibilities of being brother are many, okay. Anyone could be your brother, okay. But when I say who's your brother among them, then the possibility of those being your brother are very less, okay, very less compared to the who's your brother, right? So when you have many options, you use relative pronoun, and when you have any relative pronoun, okay, when you have many options, you can use what or who, okay. But when you have only specific options, when you have only limited options, okay, when I ask you who's your brother among them, then the options are limited, okay. Options are very limited. Your brother could be one of them only, okay, not out of them, okay. So since the options are limited, we use which, okay. With limited options, we use which and not who. Which is your brother among them would be the most appropriate sentence, okay. Which is your brother among them, okay. You cannot ask which is your brother, that sentence will be right, okay, wrong. When you say which is your brother, that sentence will be wrong. But when you say which is your brother among them, the sentence would be right, okay, understood. Here you cannot say who's your brother among them, that is wrong, that sentence is really wrong, okay, done. Okay, now we'll see some of the questions. Okay. The topic is completed, okay. I have told you all the exceptional cases so far. So now I'll tell you the questions. The questions will be visible on your screen, okay. See, he bought the books and put it in the bag. He bought the books and put it in the bag, okay. He bought the books as in plural, okay, and put it in the bag. It is singular, okay. Books are plural. We are using it in the place of books, okay. So the pronoun is wrong. It is wrong. So it must be replaced by them, okay. Plural form. So it must be replaced by them. Okay, so he bought the books and put them in the bag. Put it in the bag is wrong. Put them in the bag. Okay, first one done. Second one. Civil servants should acquit efficiently in the service of common man. Civil servants should acquit efficiently in the service of a common man. Okay. So I told you when the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action. With some of the verbs, we always use reflexive pronoun, okay. One of the verb is acquit. Acquit should be followed by a reflexive pronoun. So, see, here the civil servants should be servants, which is in plural. Civil servants is in plural. So, we should use acquit, should acquit themselves, okay. Should acquit themselves could be the most appropriate one, okay. Done. Question number 3. Avail every chance that comes your way, lest you should repent in the long run. Okay. Avail every chance that comes your way, lest you should repent in long run. Okay. So lest is followed by, lest is always followed by a preposition. Sorry, conjunction should. Okay. Lest should be followed by should. Okay. We know this one. Okay. So as I told you earlier, some of the verbs should be followed by a reflexive pronoun. So avail yourself. Avail yourself of every chance. Avail yourself of every chance. Not just avail every chance. Avail yourself of every chance. Done guys? Okay. Next one. There should be no understanding between your father and she. There must be no misunderstanding between your father and she. What's the error here? There must be no understanding between your father and she. She is in subjective form. That is wrong. Here it must be in the objective form. So your father and her, not she. Okay, your father and her. Next one. Was it him who gave money to buy you books? I told you, when there is a be form of the verb, it must be followed by a it must be followed by a subjective case. Okay, it must be followed by a subjective case and not the objective case. So, was it he who gave you, not him. What is he who gave you money to buy books? Okay. Next one. He and myself alone will complete this work because we don't need the help of anyone. He and myself. Okay. He and myself. Okay. Myself is a reflexive pronoun. I told you, myself is a reflexive pronoun. It cannot come alone. Okay. It must be preceded by it must have noun or pronoun with it. Okay. I myself would be right. If you write myself alone, that sentence would be wrong. Okay. So he and myself is wrong. It must be he and I. Done? Okay. Next one. You, I and he should take examination seriously. You, I and he should take the examination seriously. Okay. So see, we have you, I, he. We have three pronouns. All the pronouns are in singular or in plural. All the pronouns are in singular form or in plural form? All three of them are in singular form. Okay. If they are in singular form, what is the order we must follow? If they are in plural, we must follow 1, 2, 3 order. If they are in singular, we must follow 2, 3, 1 order. Correct? 2, 3, 1. Okay. So we have you, I and he. So which one is the second person? You is the second person. Which one is the third person? He is the third person. Which one is the first person? I is the first person. So it must be you, he and I. You, he and I should take examination seriously. You, he and I should take examination seriously. When warned, he stopped himself at once. When warned, he stopped himself at once. I told you, with some of the verbs, we do not use reflexive pronoun. Okay. Stop is one of those words. Okay. Stop is one of those verbs. So here, when warned, he stopped himself is wrong. He stopped at once would be the right answer. Okay. He stopped at once. He stopped at once would be the right answer. Done. Okay. It is difficult to say who is better of the two sisters. It is difficult to say who is better of the two sisters. Okay. Here the options are limited or many. Here the options are limited or many. We have limited options. We are talking about only two sisters. Okay. It is limited. Since we are talking about limited options, we always use preposition which and we always use pronoun which and not who. Okay. So here it is difficult to say which is better, not who is better, which is better of the two sisters. My friend is honest and hardworking. My friend is honest and hardworking, isn't it? My friend is honest and hardworking, isn't it? Okay. So it denotes non-living things. Here I am talking about my friend. So it is wrong. It must be replaced by he. Isn't he? Okay. So my friend is honest and hardworking. Isn't he? Okay. Since I don't know the gender of since the gender of the noun is not given. Okay. My friend. They have just given my friend and not whether he or she. Okay. Since the gender is unknown, only he is enough. Okay. Always give preference to male. Okay. Next one. Which we saw surprised all and one present at the function. Which we saw surprised all and one present at the function. Which we saw surprised all and one present present at the function. Okay. Which we saw would be the most inappropriate word here. Okay. Which we saw is very wrong. It must be replaced by what we saw. Okay. What we saw surprised all and one present at the function. Okay guys, so pronoun is not a very deep topic. Okay, it is a very light topic, very simple one. Okay, the main rule is remember the three orders, 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 1, this thing, and also reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronoun is also an important part in pronouns. Okay, so these are the major topic. We have covered almost everything. Okay, so let's meet you in the next session. Bye bye guys, thank you.